Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome in to the Phoenix Sports Podcast. It's me. It's your girl.
DJ Maky P.
Makayla Perkins and the one, the only Shawn DePaz.
Yo.
Shawn, we're out in the wild.
We are. It's nice. I'm getting some sunlight. I'm interacting with people. It's a nice change of pace, to be honest.
They let us out of our cage. They let us explore the wilderness. We are not in the office anymore. It's nice to be. This is our first time doing a remote show.
It is. The first time we've ever done TPSP outside of the studio. It's different, but I like it. We're closer to each other than we normally are.
I know, yeah. I feel like I have to look at you now because you're sitting right next to me, but I have to remember I have to look at the camera.
You've ruined the illusion.
I know. Sorry, everyone. Shawn and I are literally sitting right next to each other. Oh, Shawn, how was your week?
It was a week. We got some, highs and lows, which is not the segment we're doing. But Suns are doing their thing. Brendan Pfaadt kind of did his thing. D-back's still doing their thing. It's
yeah.
It was a week.
It was a little bit. It was a little bit of a week. I want to say hello to our fam in the chat. Hello, Elizabeth, Daniel, Chris, all you guys. CP Charles Waddle Pike.
CP3.
Ryan, hello everyone in the comments. If you're here watching the show, say hi, say hello, say what's up. We love to incorporate you and your thoughts, as long as they're kind. No, just kidding. Yeah, this week was a little rough. It definitely made me want to crack open a Four Peaks beer, which I will do after the show, by the way.
I've already had one.
Oh, I need to catch up.
Coyotes.
Yeah, I need to catch up. They got Wowie on tap here at the BetMGM Sportsbook where we are currently sitting, so I'm definitely going to go grab one of those. But there's really nothing better than Four Peaks and Friday, and they just kind of go hand in hand. But if you want to crack open a cold Four Peaks as well, they are sold wherever you get beer. You can follow them on social at Four Peaks Brew and at Four Peaks Pub on Instagram to get all the latest on Arizona's premier craft brewery. And they are also doing something really cool. Four Peaks, 4 seats. One lucky winner is going to get 4 seats to an upcoming Diamondbacks game. The tickets come with D-Bucks, so you can get some food, some ice cold Wowie or Hop Knot. You can enter by going to at Four Peaks Brew on Instagram and clicking their link in their bio. Check out Four Peaks Brew, like I said, on their Instagram. You must be 21 years or older to drink Four Peaks responsibly. Also want to give a quick shout out to our friends at Spaghetti Shack for bringing in some food to the office this week. It saved my life. I was not planning well. I did not meal prep. I did not have anything to eat. And then all of a sudden, it's like the heavens opened up and spaghetti was
cloudy
there.
With a chance of meatballs.
Yeah.
There's nothing gets me going like a good meatball. I'll say that. And Spaghetti Shack has tremendous meatballs. They also have good garlic bread, and I mean, it's Spaghetti Shack. You know they got good spaghetti.
Yeah.
Shout out Spaghetti Shack.
Absolutely. Thank you for the food, Spaghetti Shack. Spaghetti Shack is a community-focused to-go pasta concept started right here in Tempe, Arizona by 5 lifelong friends. They are currently serving Tempe and Queen Creek, and they hope to come to your neighborhood soon. Thanks again, Spaghetti Shack. All right. We got some stuff to talk about. The Phoenix Suns. Oh, the Phoenix Suns. My heart. Be still, my heart. They're down 0-2 in the series.
Yes, they are.
It's a little disappointing, to say the least. Not at all what I was expecting, to be honest with you. But they have fallen down to the Nuggets 0-2. My heart is hurting. Is this what you expected from the series at this point, Shawn?
I don't know. If you had asked me before the series, I probably said that the Suns would have split. But I'm not like, oh my God, how did we get here? Like, it's not. I mean, they were the number 1 seed for a reason. They played both their games at home, and they won both of them. It's not that surprising. But like I said, I probably would have predicted the Suns to have stolen one of them, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They're still alive, though.
I mean, on paper, the Suns were definitely at a disadvantage, even though they opened as favorites on most sports books, including BetMGM Sportsbook. They're on the road, so they had to take on the number 1 seed on their number 1 seed's home court. So obviously that's not something that's going to be in their favor. So the odds were a little bit against them going into the series. However, I did definitely think at this point, at least we would be looking at a split series, like you said. I think if they were going to win any game, it was going to be that second game because Jamal Murray looked like garbage. And I don't think Jamal Murray is always going to look like garbage. So if there was going to be a time to really take advantage of that, it was definitely game 2. And it looked like, for the most part, things were going their way. Yeah. And then
they weren't.
And then all of a sudden they weren't.
And then KCP started doing his thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Contavious just looked unreal. Yeah. CP3 got hurt in that game. I don't want to say that this is like status quo, but oh my God.
It is. So there's no way they're getting through this playoffs completely healthy. Gabriel saying, summing it up perfectly, I still believe. I don't actually. Like, I still believe. I don't really, but I still believe.
Yeah. My heart stopped a little bit when Chris Paul got injured. It was definitely a bummer. And, the reaction on the internet, it was interesting because people were like, oh, this always happens. Like vintage Chris Paul, like going out with an injury while the team's down in a series, like blah, blah, blah. And then some people were like, oh, we don't need him. He's washed. He's old. And some people were like, no, this is really bad. Like I was in the this is really bad camp because, if you watch the Suns and you watch the way they were playing together, like him leaving game 2 was a lot bigger than I think a lot of people want to talk about. He had the ball movement for the Suns going. Like he was really orchestrating the offense. He was getting the ball where it needed to go. He's not necessarily the biggest offensive threat at any given moment, but like he did provide value for the Suns. And there was like a clear difference in the way that they were playing when CP3 was on the court and when he wasn't on the court. Mm-hmm. Once he left, Book got tired. KD kept missing buckets. The offense got really stagnant. Like I think there was a visible difference when CP3 left.
Yeah, and I mean it's something that we had talked about a little bit when KD got here. Is like the chemistry thing. I mean, you lose your starting point guard, that's going to affect the chemistry. First off, I'm not here for anyone suggesting that like Chris Paul is a quitter or anything like that. I mean, he's 80 years old and he's been doing this for a minute, and I don't know, groin injuries. Nothing you can do about that. So there's that. But it definitely had an effect. And I mean, this is a team that the whole thing we've been talking about with this team, their biggest weakness is their lack of depth, their bench.
Yep.
And so losing a starter does not help. Now you got to rely on campaign a lot, and we will see how that goes.
We will see. I think my biggest takeaway from this whole series, though, is Devin Booker cannot be the only one playing basketball.
He cannot.
It's looked that way for these first 2 games. Yeah. Like Devin Booker has showed up and has been ready to play each of these 2 games. We've gotten like moments from other people, the other like part of the starting 5, but Devin Booker really, to me, has been the only person that has come ready to show up and show out.
Yeah, and I mean, KD's been scoring, but he hasn't had one of those games where it's like, oh, that's a top 5 player in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't had one of those things where he's just like, I'm taking over.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Which, I mean, we know he's capable of. And honestly, if anything, it's almost good he hasn't done it yet, because it's like, they still have a little bit more in the tank. There's still a higher gear that they, at least on paper, can reach. So... But I 100% agree. It can't be a one-man show. Devin Booker is not, and with the kind of player that Jokic is, he's able to get his entire team involved.
Yeah,
you're not going to beat. Devin Booker is not going to go 1v5 on this Nuggets team.
Yeah, you can't.
They need more.
There's no way. There was a moment in that game, though, in game 2, towards the end, where it was just Devin Booker and Nikola Jokic going back-to-back across the court, and I was like, holy shit, like, this is crazy to watch. Like, oh my gosh. Like, they were just, like, battling it out, and it was kind of crazy to see. Devin Booker so far in the series is averaging 31 points, 7 assists, 4.5 rebounds, 50% from the field, and 50% from 3. So he's definitely by far the one that's performing the best out of anybody on the roster. And you kind of mentioned already when you were talking about Kevin Durant, like, is this what you were expecting when the Suns traded for Kevin Durant? I know that, like, and I feel like everyone's going to be like, oh my God, what are you saying? Kevin Durant's fine. Like,
yeah, I know.
I'm not saying that Kevin Durant is a bad basketball player. Like, please don't get me wrong here. Like, Kevin Durant is Kevin mother effing Durant, but like also, like you were saying, I don't think we've seen like a vintage Kevin Durant playoff performance.
No,
yet.
I mean, I guess I can't speak for all Suns fans, but I definitely was in the camp where like you hear Kevin Durant's coming, you're like, okay, this is not necessarily Kevin Durant's team, because even the Warriors teams weren't Kevin Durant's team, even though he was the best. But you expected him to be like it was going to be he was going to be the offense. He was going to be the best player on the team, which he hasn't been, and that's not necessarily because he's been bad. I just didn't necessarily expect this team to still be all Devin Booker like it was before KD, kind of. So it definitely was not what I expected, but I'm not. And I don't want to say it's been disappointing necessarily, because Devin Booker's still been putting up points. They've still been scoring. It just hasn't been as much dominance from KD as you might have expected. Yeah,
absolutely. I definitely agree with what you're saying there. If what KD provides to this team is taking pressure off of Book so Book can do what Book does, like that's great. But I also think there has to be another variable of that piece of what KD is providing to this team. Like it can't 100%. Just be, hey, everyone look at me and defend me. I'm Kevin Durant, because then all of a sudden people are going to like lose interest in defending Kevin Durant, because if Kevin Durant can't score, like why are we guarding Kevin Durant?
But I mean, lose interest in guarding Kevin Durant, he'll fuck around and drop 50 on your head. So
true,
please lose interest in guarding Kevin Durant.
So obviously Game 3 is tonight. Chris Paul has already been ruled out, as we all expected. I think ESPN had a tweet that said he is definitely for sure probably going to going to miss Game 3 and Game 4. Game 3 and Game 4. He was supposed to be reevaluated in a week from Monday, so this coming Monday he'll be reevaluated again. It doesn't sound like the groin strain is like a severe injury. Obviously, that's not a fun injury to play through when you're a basketball player because, you kind of need your legs to like move and not be hurt. So definitely going to be missing Game 3 and Game 4, possibly be reevaluated in time for Game 5 if we get to that point. Yeah. Do you think that the Suns playing at home tonight is going to make a difference for this team?
Oh, 100%. I mean, first off, I don't think this ever gets talked about enough, but like playing in Denver is, regardless of the team that's on the other side of the court, is a completely different animal just because of the altitude and all that stuff. So it does change a little bit. But yeah, I mean, these Suns fans, first off, I think they're at a point where they just hate the Nuggets. And they want to see a winner. Like they're gonna show out. They're gonna be loud. The Valley, this is a Sun city. We all know that. Like the Valley is gonna be behind the Suns in these two games. It's definitely gonna make a difference. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and guarantee that they're gonna win both these games, but it's going to make a difference for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it was Campaign that said that. It worried me a little bit. I meant to send this to Shane earlier. It worried me a little bit because he was like, we in the Valley now. And I'm like, oh, boy.
Yeah, like, don't say it. Don't talk too fast.
We in Minnesota now. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. But still, like, they are at least give the mindset that, this is their game now. This is their series now. So mindset-wise, that's good. Hopefully it doesn't turn out the way that one in Minnesota did.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that – I definitely think that being on home court is going to provide that extra energy that the Suns need. The Nuggets fans were ruthless. They were chanting, like, Nuggets in 4 at the end of Game 2.
Which you should know better.
You should absolutely know better at this point. So I think, the energy that the Suns fans will bring will definitely be helpful. I'm interested to see how they compensate for not having one of their starting 5 out on the court with them for the entire game. I think that – it's going to be another battle for sure. I think this whole series is going to be a battle. I'm hoping that we get another Jamal Murray shit the bed type of game.
Yeah,
please.
So do I, but like you said earlier, I don't think you can bank on that.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely cannot bank on that. He looked terrible in Game 2. I don't even think
7 points, 9 points, something like that. It was not good. Yeah, it was very, very bad.
Like,
a lot of
every single 3 he took. It was
good.
Bad. So I'm just hoping that he decides that is the version he's going to play with tonight. Yeah. But I still think the Suns get it done. I'm going to ask you for your Game 3 prediction. Do you think the Suns get it done tonight?
Yeah,
I think so.
They have to.
I think they have a fire lit underneath them.
Yeah, it's the most important game they've played all year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you lose this, the series is essentially over.
The whole season they've had the mentality, we don't lose 2 in a row.
Yeah, and plus, they know damn well that going up 2-0 doesn't really mean shit.
A series doesn't start until the home team loses.
Yeah, so...
The home team hasn't lost yet. I think they have an extra fire underneath them to punch the Nuggets in the mouth. I am a little worried about not having CP3 out there on the court, but hopefully, someone decides to step up and play basketball.
I think they'll get a win tonight, and I think you'll see someone other than Devin Booker. I mean, Devin Booker is still probably going to be Devin Booker. It's still probably end up being the leading scorer or whatever. But I think he'll get some help tonight.
Yeah, I hope that Katie feels the energy of the crowd and uses that to his advantage and really gets back into it. I think they win. I think they win in Game 3. I actually think they win Game 4 as well. I think the series is going to get tied at 2, and then we're going to go all the way to Game 7. So
I would like to see it.
Call me crazy, but I haven't given up hope yet, even though the comments say it sounds like I have. Jose is saying, your words are saying I haven't jumped shit, but your body language has different. Look, I'm still repping the Suns. I have not given up on this team. I still believe. It's just a little scary when you look at everything that's working against them, but it's fine. It's going to work out. I'm not worried at all.
I mean, I can only be so confident about a team coming back from 2-0. I believe in the Suns, but I'm not going to be I'm not going to sit here and guarantee they're going to win this series. They're down 2-0 to the 1 seed. They put themselves in a very bad situation. So sorry that I am not the most confident that this team is going to come all the way back.
Connor's saying, I don't think this bench is enough to be still got to believe is enough, but still got to believe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we've been pounding this table this whole time, saying we are scared about the Suns' depth.
Yeah. No, I mean, objectively speaking, the bench is not enough. Yeah. But is KD and Devin Booker enough to make up for that? And DeAndre Ayton? What's another thing we still haven't seen? DeAndre Ayton's dominant playoff game, which we know he's capable of doing. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Gabriel saying they traded for Hall of Fame Chris Paul, then for future Hall of Fame Kevin Durant, and Booker is still having to carry this team.
It's Devin Booker's team.
It's kind of crazy though when you think about it. Like, I know that CP3 might be like a little smidget past his prime.
Just a little.
Is that fair to say?
Oh
like he's a little
very
past his prime. Okay,
All
right. I just want to make sure I'm not going to get canceled. It's crazy to think about that. Like CP3, even though he's past his prime, Kevin Durant, and it's still Devin Booker's team.
Yeah.
Like that says a lot about Devin Booker.
Yeah, and it does. I think it says a lot about who he is, his mentality, the style of game he plays, and in part where those other two guys are. Chris Paul is old. He's not going to sit out there and just, he's not Chris Paul from 10 years ago. And KD is still KD, but he's not KD. Like, he's still older. He's been through a couple injuries, and he obviously has a mindset of, like, this is Devin Booker's team.
Yeah.
And he's got a very team-first mentality. So, do with that what you will, but
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it definitely, like I said earlier, I expected a little more. But
yeah, Connor saying Rally the Valley, just rolled out of bed. Let's go. I'm super jealous, Connor. Rally the Valley, indeed. Gabriel saying this team is really hard to beat 4 times, but going down 0-2 makes it much easier. I will say, I'm knocking on every piece of wood that I can right now. If the Suns get swept,
knock on a single piece of wood in that process, for the record.
Shane, knock on that table. Shane's got it. He's knocking on wood. If the Suns get swept in the series, I will genuinely be shocked. Like shocked.
I'm not acknowledging that statement.
Everyone's so mad at me right now. I'm sorry, but like we have to talk about it because we're halfway.
We could have talked about it after they went down 0-3. We didn't have to talk about it.
It's fine. Like I said, it's gonna be tied 2-2 after Game 4. It's gonna be fine.
I mean, like we said earlier, though, they were chanting Nuggets in 4, and they should know better.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Hopefully there's some magic.
Karma's coming from them. Well, guess what, you guys? I have the best news possible for you to kind of clear the air and get the juju back on track. If you want to go to Game 3 tonight, you can, because our friends at Game Time still have tickets available on the Game Time app for purchase for Game 3. Game Time is the absolute best ticketing app for procrastinators like myself because they have so many deals on tickets at the last minute, and I would say at this point it's pretty last minute if you're trying to go to Game 3.
Yeah, pretty last minute, especially for a playoff game. That's why they're amazing.
If you want to support the Suns and you're tired of the hidden cost, head on over to Game Time right now. Like I said, it is the place for last minute ticket deals, and it's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. And that means it's time for the Game Time game of the week. This week, it's obviously Game 3, Suns versus Nuggets, the first home game in the series. So, Shawn, my question for you is, right now, if you go over to the Game Time app and you look up tickets for tonight's game, Game 3, and you want to think like, okay, I don't want to like splurge. I'm not going to be sitting like first or second row, but I also don't want to be up in the rafters. Like maybe just like somewhere like a little bit higher in like the first level. Yeah. And it's a playoff game, right? It's Game 3, so it's playoff prices are a little bit higher.
Of course.
How much do you think you're going to be spending on like lower bowl, but like higher in the section for a Game 3 playoff game?
Lower bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, anything lower bowl, I think it's got to be at least 300, 350.
Ooh, okay.
Right? I mean, it's playoff game versus the 1 seed.
You would think, but if you go over to the Game Time app and you download it and you create an account and you use promo code PHNX, you can get lower bowl Game 3 playoff tickets right now for $216. Damn.
You think the PHNX Suns show can produce themselves tonight
so we can go? I mean, honestly, I'm kind of thinking about it.
Into a playoff game.
Yeah. So lower bowl section 107, row 21, 216 schmackaroonies.
That's a steal.
That is a steal. That's kind of crazy that you can go to a playoff NBA game in the semifinal round for just over $200. But if you also download the app and use promo code PHNX, you get $20 off your first order. So it's actually less than $200.
Damn. For a playoff game.
For a playoff game. That is crazy. So snag the tickets without stress with using Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All right, let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals because we got some interesting news coming out of Cards camp this week.
I'm so excited about this news.
Are you really?
Because
I don't think I am.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. I was saying that sarcastically as somebody who could have benefited from him being traded. DeAndre Hopkins is a top 3 receiver in football, in my opinion. Still, I think he still has the best hands in football. I'm very happy that he's going to be a Cardinal still.
Yeah, absolutely.
On paper, at least.
I don't know if I agree with that, but it's okay. We'll talk about it. So, against everyone's better judgment, my mama, my grandmama, my uncle, my dog, my third cousin twice removed, everyone thought DeAndre Hopkins was getting traded.
Yeah, he was going to Buffalo or KC or something like that.
Seriously, there was so much speculation about him and him getting traded before the NFL draft. He was linked to Buffalo. He was linked to Baltimore. He was linked to Kansas City. Von Miller was on a campaign trail trying to get homie up to Buffalo with him.
Bills legend, Von Miller.
Shut the fuck up. I hate you so much. I'm not talking about it. We're not going there. But everyone thought it was a done deal.
It seemed
done.
I mean, up until draft day, draft night, in the middle of the draft, when we got that quote from Monty that he wasn't going to be traded that night, everyone was under the opinion that he was going to be traded, not necessarily during day 1 of the draft, but during the NFL draft. And obviously, like I said, Monty came out and said he wasn't going to be. And now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here. And it's not like he did much to help the rumors. He hasn't really been in Arizona.
No, yeah.
He wasn't at the new uniform reveal party.
Yep.
So it kind of was okay, he's not here. He's not at the uniform reveal thing. There's no way he's staying. It's a done deal. Well, we were all wrong.
Yeah.
He stayed. He is still an Arizona Cardinal, despite what
now.
Everyone and their mama was thinking. He also did something very interesting, and he took to Instagram earlier this week and posted a story, a little video, and we'll just play it for you.
I see everybody tell me to stay. Who said I want to go? Who said I wanted to leave? I'm out here working, baby.
I'm out here working, baby. So are we, D-Hop.
We are working just as hard as DeAndre Hopkins is, I'm sure.
So obviously he posted that to his story. He tagged Phoenix, Arizona in the little sticker. He said, "I see everybody telling me to stay. Who said I want to go? Who said I wanted to leave?" D-Hop. Everybody said he wanted to leave.
Yeah, but I think that's his point. He's like, you heard it from all these other people. You didn't hear it from me.
Don't you think that started from somewhere, though?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely think they were.
It's not like we're just let's get rid of D-Hop for fun.
No, I don't think this came out of complete nowhere. I think there was a good chance that they were going to shop, or I think they were shopping him, right? I think there was a good chance that he was going to be traded. They fielded calls. A bunch of reports came out.
Yeah.
And a lot of them from actual credible sources, unlike a lot of the people that like to talk about the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
There was something. There's definitely something to it, but I don't necessarily think. I think those two things can exist at the same time. I think there could be truth that there was a possibility of D-Hop wanting to leave, and deep down he never really wanted to leave.
Yeah. But if you look at where this team is, though, it makes sense why he wouldn't want to leave, and why I also didn't blame him, because
why he wouldn't want to leave, or why he would
want to leave. We don't know. Yeah, who's gonna throw to him?
No,
we don't
100%.
know. Nobody knows.
He's older, 100%. I 100% would have understood if he wanted to end up.
Yeah,
on the
and
Bills
I wouldn't
or
have
the
blamed
Chiefs.
him. He's older. He wants to win a championship.
And your starting quarterback's gonna miss a portion of the season.
Yeah, at least. You don't know who's going to be throwing to you. If it's going to be Colt McCoy or a rookie that they draft, you don't know. We have no idea who's going to be throwing to DeAndre Hopkins. Homie wants to win
who's the quarterback they drafted?
I could not even tell you.
I can't remember his name.
I don't even know.
It was they drafted him late.
But he went from the Houston Texans. Okay, it's not like they're the best organization on the face of the planet.
Although at the time they were okay at football, but yeah,
still didn't win a championship.
Yeah, no, you're familiar.
Then they went to the Cardinals, who dysfunction is kind of their middle name at this point. The Arizona Dysfunction Cardinals.
Clayton Tune is his name.
Tune, that's right. I knew he had some kind of goofy ass name.
So I wouldn't have blamed him if he wanted to leave. I think it makes sense. He wants to win a championship. He's top 5 wide receiver, 10 wide receiver of all time.
I rate him higher than I think the general public does.
Okay.
So, but wait, you said all time?
Yeah.
Oh my.
10. No?
Boy, that's not a conversation we can get into
top
right
15?
now. That's not a conversation we can get into right now.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's a good wide receiver.
For sure.
He wants.
He's top 5 in the league right now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, right now. So I wouldn't have blamed him if he wanted to leave, but he's still here. It's not necessarily he has monetarily a reason to leave. His contract is pretty good. He signed a 2-year contract extension. Yeah, he's going to get paid. So it's not like he's on a dysfunctional team and then also not getting paid. He's getting paid. He signed a 2-year contract extension that will keep him with the Cardinals through 2024. The extension was an additional 2 years, $54.5 million contract with a $27.5 million signing bonus. And then in this year, in 2023, Hopkins will earn a base salary of $19.45 million. So it's not like he's on a dysfunctional team and also getting paid like shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if you're looking at it from that lens, I think, him staying, it is what it is. But then a day or two ago, Ian Rappoport went on the Pat McAfee show, and he I don't think he dropped a bomb, but he has a little bit more insight than some of us do. So this is what Ian Rappoport had to say.
We thought D-Hop would be traded by then. Somebody took it on the shins on the internet because it did not happen by the draft. What do you think happens with D-Hop, and when did that come to be, you think? And we saw the video that he released. Is Arizona, are they just back? We're good?
Was it Pac-Man who took it on the shins?
Yeah,
it was.
Ian, why you got to do that?
Yeah, why do you got to?
So, no, here's what I would say. You should not have taken it on the shins.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously he didn't get traded, but there was a chance he could have. There were obviously conversations. It did not happen.
Okay.
But it's not like you were, it's not like you were wrong.
Right.
There was certainly possibilities. Different places he could have been traded.
Yeah.
There were times when I
Get
thought
off his back.
Yeah.
Get off Pac's back.
D-Hop said he never was going to get traded. D-Hop said, I love Arizona.
So he never said he wanted to leave Arizona.
Well, all right, let's just move past all that. What was the? Hey, you're all right,
Pac-Man.
Pat. You're in the insider game.
That's right.
Yeah. You're going to swing.
Just didn't happen this time.
Next time it's going to be awesome.
So, look, it sounds like everyone has kind of, usually when these things don't happen by the draft, these sort of big moves, like maybe they pick up again if someone else like loses a receiver or something in August or July. But usually by the time the draft ends, like that's kind of, you'll add maybe a free agent or two, but usually it's kind of set. So I would say, like, based on the conversation where it is, like it seems like they're moving forward together.
All right. Well, that's great news. We appreciate you joining us and your time off here. You doing any TV at all? When's the next time you'll be maybe tasting food and judging it?
Ooh.
So it sounds like he's staying, like you said.
Yeah. And I mean, he said what I kind of just said. Obviously, he knows things, and I was just speculating. But like, it was not like this came out of nowhere. Like there was a very real chance that he got traded.
Yeah.
And he didn't. These things are fluid. Like relationships change, all that kind of stuff. Circumstances change. Yeah, I mean, I do genuinely think there was a chance that he was going to leave, and now he's not, and he's embracing that, and I think that's all you really can do in that situation.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing with this is like it's just a mismatch of timelines. Like,
yeah, no,
if we had Kyler Murray going into the
sense.
season, I would be so jazzed for. And I don't even like. Obviously, if Kyler Murray was healthy, we wouldn't even be having this conversation about D-Hop getting traded because there'd be no reason for him to be. But like, I just think it's mismatched timelines now. Like the team is obviously like not necessarily rebuilding, but like kind of rebuilding because like they don't really have their starting quarterback to play. It's a retooling. And so like it doesn't really make sense to have D-Hop on the roster, in my opinion, because there's so many unknown variables. They're kind of retooling. Like, and so I kind of would have preferred the Cardinals to trade D-Hop, honestly, because I think if they could have gotten good return out of it, it would have been worth it because the timelines don't match. Like D-Hop wants to win a championship now. The Cardinals are not winning a championship now. Like,
no, 100%. Like it makes, I 100% agree with you from that perspective. I'm looking at this more from like a, I don't know, kind of like an organizational / fan perspective. Like, first off, as fans, there's not a whole lot to be excited about going into this season. Obviously, your starting quarterback is hurt. You've lost. The roster has had a bunch of turnover. Obviously, well, I mean, there's new coach. There's stuff to be excited about in that regard. But, like, D-Hop is like the one thing coming into the season where if he's playing and he's healthy, you're like, okay, like we have a guy on this team who is one of the best at his position in the entire league. And then from obviously an organizational perspective, you're not going to have Kyler out there selling tickets. You might not have Buddha out there selling tickets. Like
I just got a visual of Kyler Murray standing outside State Farm Stadium trying to sell tickets.
I need tickets.
Sorry.
But, like D-Hop is the star of this team for right now until Kyler comes back. Like so they need him from that perspective. And I think D-Hop is a good dude. Like he seems like the kind of guy who would enjoy, who could embrace this kind of role, whatever that role is.
Yeah, but I just don't see any value of him being there right now.
Again,
like if they could have traded him and got something real, like even mediocre in return.
I 100% agree. I mean, the value in that is that when Kyler does come back, he has somebody to throw to.
Yeah.
And it seems like they are taking great efforts to keep Kyler happy.
Yeah.
And B, I think whether it's Clayton Tune, I feel like they're probably going to go Clayton Tune. Like, you might as well throw the rookie out there at first. Like,
I mean, Cole McCoy is like hanging on by a
yeah,
thread.
honestly. Like, and I don't want anything to do with David Blau. Like, but regardless, like, if you don't want to completely punt on this season, like, you need that guy where he's like, throw it up there, he's going to catch it for those lower tier quarterbacks while you're waiting for Kyle to come back. So I understand from all of that why they would want to, but I agree from they don't win Super Bowl with D-Hop.
Yeah,
that's not happening. They could get something for him, and he has a chance to go win a ring somewhere else. I understand that, but I there's plenty of reasons I think alternatively for them to want to keep D-Hop.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, if we're really playing the long game here and we're trying to keep Kyler Murray happy, and Kyler Murray behind the scenes was like, I want D-Hop to stay because like I'm aiming for like a really late season comeback, then like
or maybe an earlier season coming. Like, we don't really know when he's coming back. It seems like he's been kicking rehab's ass. Like,
some rumors from like October.
I've
seen October thrown out there.
And if that happens, like, you get a few people, the coaching, like if Cliff and that coaching staff was really the problem last year, this season doesn't have to be a complete like throwaway, you know. And I know, considering the picks that you have, like there's definitely a benefit to tanking in this season, but I don't think we don't do that. Like, they don't tank. Players don't tank. They want to win, and I think there's a chance that they can have an okay season, a season that gives them something to build on for next year. Yeah, with D-Hop and Kyler. Yeah, that's fair. So I guess we'll see. Yeah. This is we'll see, a big question mark. But yeah, I'm interested to see what the Cardinals do, try to stop gap in time for Kyler to make it back, which by the way, again, these are just reports, rumors swirling around that like October is like a possible timeline for return. That would be nuts. Yeah. That would be wild. Which I almost kind of think you kind of, I don't know if you want that as a Cardinals fan, because like you obviously want your quarterback to take all the time he needs to like get 100%. But there's so much negativity around Kyler Murray and his attitude, and like when the reports first came out of him saying like, I want to make sure I'm 100% and I'm going to take my time to make sure I'm 100%, everyone's like, oh, he sucks, he's lazy, he's taking his time because he's selfish, he doesn't want to come back and play football, like just throw the whole thing away. Like, in reality, and like, it does. So it seems like he's trying to get back as fast as he can. I don't know if there's like an extra like fire under Kyler to come back early to just shut everyone up about him being lazy and not caring and like not wanting to come back. Kyler's a winner, dog. Like, he likes winning. He's been doing it his whole life in multiple sports. Like, I don't buy, like, obviously there's things about his attitude, his personality or whatever, but I don't buy the idea that he doesn't care or he's disinterested. I don't buy that. He wants to get back on the field. I genuinely believe that, and I think you will see that. But the big question is he going to be himself? And so I do agree that you need to take it. He needs to take his time, come back at 100. But I do not doubt that he wants to be out there. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So I guess we'll see. He might, I don't know. He's allowed to now, right? Take some OGs. I think they're allowed to take OGs now. The NFLPA kind of changed that rule. In his rehab. Help with the rehab with the OGs. Happy balance, to get the CBD to help some of that knee pain. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a great. Listen, this is so embarrassing. I need a Happy Balance CBD because I like did some intensive spring cleaning and I was reorganizing my closet, and you can tell that I don't actively like work out or move my body because I hurt. Mac lifts one finger and she's 10-day IL. I am so sore right now. My back hurts, my quads hurt, and I was literally moving clothes boxes in my closet. I thought I woke up and I felt like I got hit by a truck, and I was just reorganizing my closet. So I think I might need to get into the gym, but in the meantime, I will take a Happy Balance strawberries and cream CBD to THC ratio OG's gummy to help with the pain. Mm-hmm. That's terrible. That's atrocious. I'm sorry. I know, guys. It's really bad. So you can check out OG's and grab a Happy Balance. They also have their Aquaberry Sleep Edition, which is a CBN and a THC ratio gummy. The CBN compound helps with rest and relaxation. They also just have like your normal sativa and indica gummies. The orange creamsicle sativa. Oh, fire me up. It's so good. If you want to get in on any of this OG's action, you can find them at your local dispensary at ogsbrands.com, but you must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. Yeah. All right. Let's round out the show with a little bit of Arizona Diamondbacks talk because it's baseball season, obviously. And Brandon Pfaadt made his debut finally. I think it was probably one of the most highly anticipated Major League debuts in the Diamondbacks farm system. He's been one of the top Diamondbacks
pitching prospects for a while. It was really highly anticipated by fans. He had 50 people, by the way, in attendance at his debut on May 3rd in Texas. So his friends, his family, his high school pitching coach, like everyone was out there. It was really like hyped up. The graphic we made went viral. Like everyone was talking about this. He went out there and kind of flopped a little. Kind of.
It was good for a little bit, and then it got
started
not
good.
so good.
It got really bad. He finished his debut pitching 4 2/3 innings with 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't great. I do think that stat line's a little misleading. I think Torrey left him in the game a little longer than he should have because he wanted to get him that win in his debut, which I respect. I completely appreciate. I am fine with you. And obviously they ended up winning that game anyways. So I am fine with you kind of risking the win to give this kid a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm fine with that. That's part of why I love Torrey.
Yeah, so the Diamondbacks did win the game 12-7. So obviously all the runs in that game came from Brandon Pfaadt that the Texans scored. Rangers scored. Hello. Sorry, we were talking about the Texans last night. The Rangers scored. All of those came from Brandon Pfaadt. They did win the game. I definitely agree that Torrey left him in the game way too long. Definitely a mismanagement for sure. I'm not usually very critical of Torrey Lovullo because I think he is the manager that this team needs. But that was one of those decisions where I was like, Torrey.
But it's a little different for me because there's other managers, looking at you, Aaron Boone, of the New York Yankees, who like just don't know how to manage pitchers or manage a bullpen. Here, I think even Torrey knew he probably should have taken Pfaadt out. And if this was his 5th, 6th career start, he would have been taken out earlier. But I do think it was genuinely just he wanted to give him that opportunity to win, which, like I said, I can appreciate. I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think looking at his whole performance, I think command was definitely the issue. He was all over this place. Like he could not locate his pitches to save a life. So the good thing about command is it's normally one of those things that's a little bit easier to fix and one of those things that has like more variables that come into it. So like nerves.
Yeah, that's
just 100%. Getting used to the new MLB lineup that you're going against. You know,
and also let's not forget the fact that the Texans are one of the best offenses in baseball right now. Like
they're on fire.
They are very, very good. Texans. I just said Texans again. The Texas Rangers are one of the best.
Rangers. We're
Jonah Heim is like the best catcher in baseball right now. They are what?
Shane's gonna say something. Hold on.
You were just flaming Jonah Heim so hard in the office 2 days ago.
Yeah, because I don't like him. But
exposed.
Statistically speaking, he is one of the best catchers in
You
baseball.
were like, he's the most overrated catcher in the MLB.
I wasn't saying that.
You were saying that he's bad on defense. And
drag him.
That was not
drag
me.
Him.
We'll have this conversation.
You were flaming him.
I did not say that about Heim. I did not.
Yes, you were.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's not a good catching guys at stealing. He's below average at that. That's the stat I was looking at. I do remember that. Caught stealing above average on Baseball Savant. Great stat.
Okay. Well, I totally forgot what we were just talking about because that sidetracked me so bad.
Pfaadt, you have to remember that his command was a problem, but he was going against a really good offense.
Yes, a really good offense. He was probably super nervous. I can't even imagine.
And he knew he had a big crowd there watching him.
Big crowd watching them. First major league debut. So I'm sure there was a lot of factor that went into some of those command issues that I think that if that's the problem, I think that's not really something to be overly worried about because it's probably one of the easiest things about pitching that you can fix.
And it's his first career start. Anything could happen, and I wasn't going to put that much stock into it because, I mean, Tyler Gilbert threw a no-hitter in his first career start. We basically haven't seen him since. So. Yeah.
Well, that's what's going to be my next question is how worried are you about this performance? Are you reading anything into it?
No, not at all. Like I said, like you mentioned, I think the control thing is definitely fixable. I do think nerves probably had an effect in it. And it's not like a position player where, you can get called up, spend a couple days with a team, maybe getting a pinch hit and kind of settle in. He got to Texas by himself. He was waiting for the team to get there. And then he pitched. Like
he pitched.
It was a different situation. He didn't really have time to settle into that situation, and he was on the road.
Yeah.
It's a lot to go through for a young kid. I'm not concerned at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not either because his stuff isn't the issue. Like he has a really good pitching repertoire. He is the type of pitcher though that has to locate to be successful. Like he does have to have good command in order to be successful, and he did do that well in the minors. Like he did have really good command all the way up through the minors.
I mean, he got to the majors for a reason. Yeah. He wasn't like he sucked his way through minor league baseball to get here.
I think also his biggest upside is he has such a good slider. It is a beautiful pitch. It has like this crazy spin. I don't know. It breaks downward. It's so good. There's not a lot of people that can pitch a slider like Brandon Pfaadt can. So I think that's a huge upside.
If you want to learn more about the slider, go watch the Diamond Mind.
Yeah.
That Jesse put out. Just search Brandon Pfaadt. I'll put it on the YouTube channel
Yeah,
also. But
we'll put it in the chat.
very good.
It's a great video
Talks
breakdown
about the
that
spin rate and such.
Jesse Friedman did on him. He has an elite slider, and not a lot of people can throw that like he can. But like I said, his stuff is not the problem. The command was the problem, and I think it's going to be okay because I think he can fix it. There was probably just a lot of external factors going on that made him super nervous, which is totally like relatable.
Yeah, but ultimately it's good because he did that and he got out of it without a loss. He's still 0-0. The offense picked him up, so that's all you can really ask in that situation.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree. So I'm not counting the Diamondbacks out yet, or Brandon Pfaadt out yet.
Yeah.
The Diamondbacks are still a wagon.
Yeah.
Also, finally, I don't know if you saw this, but MLB released their pitcher rankings through the season so far, and finally, Zach Gallen got the flowers that he freaking deserves. They have him as number 2 on their list right now.
Behind, you remember who it was?
The Yankees pitcher.
Okay, yeah, he deserved that. Garrett Cole's really good. He's really good. But yeah, I mean, Zach Gallen is a dog. We knew that. Shocker.
So very proud of Zach Gallen and finally getting the flowers deserved. He was left off all the lists at the beginning of the season after like the first 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, what?
I'm gonna be so sick if Spencer Strider steals this Cy Young from him. Obviously, there's a lot of season to go. He's got to earn it still, but. People out here don't get the love they deserve.
Yep.
That's nothing new.
Absolutely. That's just the life of being an Arizona sports fan. You know what else is good thing for?
You know what else is in the life of being an Arizona sports fan?
I can't.
Days
you guys
at the
know
pool,
what's coming.
Days at the pool, outside, shirt off. You need to be groomed. You need to keep it clean. I've been hitting the gym recently, and I gotta clean all this up so you can really see the definition. Totri's been training me up. I need to show it off. Maybe show you the legs so you can see the calves. Mine are better than Shane's. Trust. And you can't just use any tool.
Let's not lie.
Okay.
Let's not lie. These puppies are.
I'm
nice.
getting there. But you can't just use any tool. Keep yourself groomed and clean. Show off them muscles, that definition.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one.
There is just one.
It's Manscaped. You know what the vibes are. They have all the best tools for men's grooming. They have a new Performance Package 4.0, the Lawnmower 4.0. It's waterproof, cordless body trimmer technology. And they got their Weed Whacker because, no one likes nose hairs. And I'm not going to lie to you. My nose hairs can get Jumanji up in here. They can get a little crazy. Shout out Manscaped. They got a bunch of stuff. So if you want to get yourself some Manscaped, you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code PHNX at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code PHNX at manscaped.com. I'm reading this because it's in red text because that means I have to. Trim your chesticles with the besticles. Thanks for that, Max.
I'm exiting stage left. Elizabeth is right. I'm going to go grab my 4-peak spear. Oh, my God.
You should have just left. I could have got the show over it.
No. Oh, it's fine. I will say one thing. I'm so glad that I do not host a show with PD because his Roman and his Manscaped
You would have definitely had to get up and leave.
I can't. There's just something about the secondhand embarrassment that I suffer that I can't, be in public for when that happens. It's amazing. It's an art form, and PD is truly talented, and I think he needs to win a Nobel Peace Prize for the way that he does those reads or something.
Nobel Peace Prize.
But for me, I can't be a part of it. It makes me cringe so hard internally. I don't know why. So thank you for not doing me like PD does the rest of the Coyotes crew.
I kept everything above the belt.
Yes, above the belt. That's great. Before we get out of here, really, really, really fast, I do want to say the NHL draft lottery is Monday. I am praying.
Could be a franchise-changing day.
I'm going to put silver spoons under my pillow. I'm going to wear my pajamas inside out.
Leah's going to have to get her crystals out.
Yeah, Leah needs to get her crystals going. I'm going to do some crazy things to pray to the hockey gods that the Coyotes do not get the 3rd overall pick in the NHL draft. Please. Please, if you're listening to me.
Just put good vibes out there.
Please give the Coyotes the 1st overall pick.
Or second. I'll take Adam
No,
Fantilli.
first. Because if it's not Connor Bedard, I don't want it.
Adam Fantilli would be very good. I'll pick it.
No, if it's not Connor Bedard, I don't want it.
I would like Connor Bedard a lot, though. That'd be very fun.
Are you worried about this draft lottery? Are you stressed at all?
Oh, of course.
A little bit, maybe?
It's the Coyotes.
Yeah.
They never... But there's no point stressing out about it. We can talk about this next week after we know.
Yes.
Maybe they'll get some good luck.
Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen. It is a draft lottery for a reason, which I hate. I'm sorry. I'm just going to put this out here now. I hate draft lottery style. Can we not? Can we not do it a lottery style?
I go back and forth because I do. You can't. Can't just have teams out here tanking.
I would honestly rather watch teams tank than have my fate decided by a little fucking plastic ball. But anyways, we obviously don't know what's going to happen. We're just trying to play Oracle and predict the future. But I'm just praying to the hockey gods. Anything but the third overall pick at this point.
Well, if we get the third overall pick, that is a massive jump up from where they are in the standings. So I'll take it. But I'd very much like a top 2.
That's fair. Shit the Bedard. Give me Connor Bedard or give me death. But good thing is we will be talking about the actual pick that the Coyotes have on next week's show, which you can tune into, obviously, at 12:30. We will go at 12:30 this time, we promise. We're a little late today. It's because we're at BetMGM. Thank you to our friends at BetMGM for having us.
Yes, very much. And PHNX Coyotes, we're doing a live draft lottery show. Starting at the draft lottery is at 5. I believe we're going to go live at about 4:45 right before. So you can watch the draft and either celebrate or commiserate with us.
Yep, absolutely. If you're in the comments right now, you guys are the absolute best. Connor, Elizabeth, Jose, Ryan, Joshua, Gabriel, Amelia. You guys are all the homies. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love you to the ends of the earth and back. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget, if you want to come out here and hang out with us, you can. So come out to the MGM Sportsbook, hang out with us. We're also doing our cornhole tourney tonight. It's not too late to sign up. Grab a friend, come out and play some cornhole with us. We're probably going to kick your butt, but it's okay. We won't tell anyone. Thank
just our little secret.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope you have a wonderful and safe weekend. We'll see you next weekend at 12:30. Next Friday at 12:30. Bye.